Live on Instagram and live on Facebook. And hit it. What up, Instagram, Facebook Live.
Broco family.
Welcome to another episode of Broco. What's going on? What's up, babe? What's up, man? You, man?
Broco, man. What's up, man? Hey, man, I'm fresh off.
Like, we ain't seen you forever, man.
Hey, I'm fresh off of Jamaica.
Oh, man.
Yes, sir. Yeah, me and fam. It was our 11-year anniversary.
Okay.
Right? So we put 11 years in. So we had a good time in Jamaica. Okay. And I'm back to the show. Let's get started.
Back to business.
Get it in. That's
All
right.
right, let's go. So today's topic, we got sacrificing. Me for us, hashtag there's no I in team. So basically with a lot of relationships, you know, we constantly have to understand the best way to get the best out of relationships is just you got to work together.
True.
So without further ado, our guest today on today's show is a couple that needs no introduction. They've been together for 40 years. So I felt like this would be a great topic for them to speak on because you can't get 40 years without teamwork.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So without further ado, let's bring to the set Pastor Carl D. Moore and Lady Angela Moore. Welcome.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Pastor, welcome.
Thank you for having us.
All right, guys. What's going on, Pastor?
Hey.
So today we're talking about teamwork. Not just teamwork. We're talking about being able to work together in not just relationships, but marriages. So I feel like that, you know, you have to be on the same page when it comes to things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, depending on the goals of the relationship or the marriage, I feel like you should be able to be on the same page. But sacrificing is very important because I feel like a lot of times we want what we want when we want it.
True.
But when you looking out for the person or you consider yourself as being part of a team, you can't always get what you want. It has to be an agreement. Okay, so but we brought you guys in the show, shed a little light for our audience, you know, on that particular topic. You know, the guys are gonna chime in. So
Yeah, and before we get started with them, and thank you guys so much for being on the show. You know, I've heard Orlando talk about his pastor and everything like that. So it's an honor to have you guys on the set with us and everything. You know, and I just feel like us as brothers, I feel like maybe we need to kind of give us some background, give you guys some background of us and everything, and kind of where we're at in life as brothers, and then we can jump into it, you know, and I'll start off, you know, I'll start off. My name is Alan, from South Georgia, and you know, I went to, you know, me and Orlando and James, we grew up together in South Georgia. James and I, we actually went to college together and been in each other's lives for a very long time. Me and Orlando just recently connected, and
Close to 40 years.
Close to 40 years, yeah. So me and Orlando, we just recently reconnected through work and everything, and then through Orlando, we met Ricardo, Rico, and everything, and it's been like it's been a bond to the point where Orlando was able to put this panel together. And we just been kind of just, you know, doing our thing, you know, since the connection and everything. For me, I was married 12 years. You know, in that marriage, we had 2 kids. You met my 2 sons, you know, Austin and Braden, and recently divorced, you know, after 12 years of marriage and everything, you know. So that's kind of where I'm at, you know, trying to figure out life, trying to get through the trauma and the pain and, you know, guilt and everything, you know, trying to get through that and everything. So that's kind of where I'm at, you know, and I'll just kind of leave it to the other guys.
So my name's James. I've never been married. I'm single. I have 3 awesome boys. My oldest just graduated from FAMU with his master's a couple weeks ago. Middle just graduated last year with his bachelor's, getting ready to go to dental school. And the baby is finding his way, through college, trying to, work towards his bachelor's. So, like I said, I've never been married, but, I have a lot of married friends. I'm in a relationship about 3 years now. So, would like to get married. But of course, like O said, looking for me sacrificing for the team, to have a 40-year situation or a lifetime situation. So, definitely looking for that and looking forward to it too.
Rico, Ricardo, either one is fine. So I've been married now for just 11 years. So April 30th made our 11 years. And of course that's not without its bumps in the road, right? And most of those bumps came in the start, right? And that was because I was about 29 years old, and I didn't even know what marriage meant, right? All I know is that I know my parents weren't married, but I saw people that were married, and it looked like, man, this is the place to be, right? From people that I saw. But seeing that, I didn't see what was all under the covers, right? And basically turning that I into us, or I into a team, right? And it took me a while to figure that out. And now that I figured out, that's the biggest part is about being a team. People don't realize it's simple as stuff like is finances, right? That's not actually simple, right?
Nah, that's a real big.
That's so I know
That's a big one, right?
I let y'all hit on that one, right? But one thing I can say that we did initially with the finances that we learned through our premarital type stuff, right? Is that we got one bank account. One bank account. And that's helped a lot of stuff. So all of our money, I would say 98% of our money goes into that. We do allow a separate account for, say, I want these, I'm a shoe guy, right? I want these shoes, so it's not messing with any of those funds. It comes out of the Rico account, right? But all of the money has saved, that has saved, we call it, well, Rico account, well, cause I'm a shoe guy, right? But the thing about that Rico, she knows about the Rico account. She can get to the Rico account, right? I can get to the Stacy account, right? But it's just like, this is my money. If I want to go to Red Lobster, I want to go do whatever. But this is considered my money, right? But all the rest of it is into a joint account, and we basically manage that together, right?
Yeah.
So from a financial standpoint, that has helped tremendously.
Yeah, great.
Yes. That's how we suggested.
That's good.
You tell us about you.
Well, y'all know
No,
about me.
everybody don't know about that.
Everybody don't know about me,
We got
but
some
hey,
viewers,
I
some
said,
viewers.
but yeah, I'm Orlando. Like I said, basically, I've been around, passing later 80. I joined the church back in 1998. So I've been there for a long time. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, it should have been a blessing. Me and Pastor and I had numerous meetings. Where like if I had stuff in my mind, I can always call him up. Go sit in his office and meet with him. So and it's just some things that he just basically look at me and just tell me what's on line or not.
Right, and you look at it. Yeah.
So
What's the name of the church?
It's no hiding. You know what I'm saying? It's Clarkson First Baptist Church out in Clarkson, Georgia. So with Pastor, it's no hiding. Like I can sit down and the crazy part when I think I got him, he'll ask me one question that gonna burn everything out. Yeah. But like I said, I was married before.
Yeah, he'll be up in there crying.
Yeah.
He'll be like
But yeah, I was married before and stuff like that. So like I said, everything that basically, like I said, the single life and the married life, I've been a part of both of them. So
How long were you married?
About a year.
He wasn't married.
Not yeah. But hey, that's like I said, Pastor tell you, the sacrificing part, it was more I than us. Okay, so yeah. But
what she told you, there is an ME in team.
right. That's exactly what it was. That's why me single right now. So Pastor Lena, you want to tell the audience a little about you guys? We're going to get deep into this topic.
Well, first of all, guys, thanks for sharing.
Yes,
A
yes,
little about
yes.
yourself and Uncle. And
Yeah.
I'm Lady A. Pastor and I actually met in college. I was a freshman. He was a sophomore. We've been together. Well, actually, tomorrow we'll be celebrating 41 years of marriage.
Oh.
And we've only been married to each other.
And Rico made it hard, talking about he just got back in July.
It's okay, it's all right, it's all right.
I don't have nothing planned.
See, that's maybe
Uh-oh,
you get to that point and then it's okay. It gets to that point, it's okay. But we've been together, we've been married 41 years tomorrow. We've been together 44 years. We dated 3 years.
Yes.
Yeah,
He's done the figures today.
Yeah.
44 years.
3 years, and you made it say, you know what, this is my woman.
Yeah.
3 years.
We actually,
Well, we sort of did
We did
that
it
about
before.
6-7 months in.
and we knew very early that we were.
6-7 months in,
Mm-hmm.
you knew. So 6-7 months in, you knew that y'all would be here.
Yes.
41 years later.
Well, I know we'd be here, but I knew we'd be married.
Now, both of y'all be married, okay.
We both knew that, yeah.
My initial commitment was to 14 years.
14,
Mine was
just
like
14.
Why is that number?
Because my parents divorced after 14 years of marriage, so my thing was to beat their number.
Yeah.
So if I got past that number, I'm
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
See, and that-
mine was 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Mine
see,
was
that's,
3.
we need to talk about that part there because
Yeah.
that became a trouble part for us because
Wow, man.
at 14 years,
I
even though we were okay, he was gonna make it. He was trying to make it not
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
Because whatever you gonna, y'all been having
whatever
in
you put
your
in
head.
your head, that's
No,
what
so
I'm
at
saying.
14 years,
that's
actually been 11 years, he started acting a little crazy.
Mhm.
Because even though it was fine, we weren't gonna make it past what his parents did. So that became a difficult part for those
So
few
you
years
was kind
there.
of like playing off of what you saw.
Off what I saw
That's a good
and
perspective.
making it a reality
Great perspective.
for this one to know. And so we made this far, and so if I got there, hey, I had reached what my definition of marriage was.
For you.
Yeah,
Okay.
for me.
This is for
Because
me.
most of
Wow.
us, marriage become the context in which we come out of what we saw.
Right.
Yeah.
And so even in relationship, that's what I tell people, if you grew up in an environment where that environment showed you nothing but infidelity, you think that's part of marriage.
Absolutely.
You don't even think anything wrong with it. Then somebody started complaining, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
That's what everybody do. When everybody don't do that, but we met, and so she caught me in the prime of my college years.
And you're cute.
Prime.
Yeah,
Oh, you're a cute.
He's a cute.
Okay.
Oh, he's a cute.
Yeah.
Who just spread, you know, fresh.
So let me ask you a question about this. Since you said based upon, I actually said that too, based upon what I saw,
Yeah.
right? But like my parents, they were never married, right?
Mhm.
So I never saw that in the house, right? My dad was around, right? He had girlfriends and all this kind of stuff. But he and my mom, even till the day he passed away 2 years ago, right? They were still like, I mean, they can ask each other anything. They would help each other out. It was never any, like, I'm not gonna do this for you because we're not together, stuff like that. It was weird, right? Because it was like, hey, my car broke down, my dad was there. I need something fixed. My dad was always there for my mom, no matter what, right? So that's what I saw. But they weren't married, but they had a good relationship, right? But we say that, we play off of what we see. What about when it's kind of like when you see a person, like say you grew up and your father was an alcoholic, right? And you say, it's 2 ways you can go. You can say, I'm gonna drink, but I have a friend to this day. His dad was a hard alcoholic. He
won't
will
touch
not touch it with a pole. Not even on New Year's. Like, can you drink this little champagne? No.
And a lot of times, what you got to do, environment causes two extremes. And either you become an advocate against. And so you have to be cognizant of it. And really, most of mine was discovered by counsel, like going and sitting on the couch. And I advise all men, if you get an opportunity, go sit on the couch.
Yeah.
So let's talk about going sitting on the couch.
Yeah.
Because in certain
It's taboo
communities-
in our community.
Right, and it's like if you go sitting on the couch, like something really wrong with you.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Something
It's,
is wrong with all of us.
right, to an extent, right?
Right.
But it's like we don't have the understanding of preventative maintenance,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Instead of
Yes.
the
Afterwards.
proactive maintenance, right? So I sit on the couch and I don't have a problem with
Yeah.
and after I sit on the couch, I feel much better.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Things are more, I can put things into perspective.
Bingo.
Things I might be struggling with,
Yeah.
What I discovered, James, is that when you sit on the couch, it gives you introspect, but also it helps you to face whatever your demons might be.
Right.
And somebody hold you accountable.
Yeah.
Where you don't BS them over whatever you're going through, what you're doing, because then they call you accountable. And then you allow yourself to be held accountable.
Yeah.
See, a lot of time in marriage, what messes us up is that we don't allow our spouses to hold us accountable.
Yeah.
Because then we get into the mode, Rico, where we talk about I'm grown.
Yeah.
And really, when you're in a marriage, there's no grown. Because then you said there's a commitment and the two became one.
Right.
So you can't be accountable if you remain over here
Right.
and she remain over there.
Yep.
It means that we came together, so because we came together, we hold each other accountable.
Right. And I think, excuse me, go ahead.
Back to what you were saying, James, about the taboos in our community. From my perspective, sitting on the couch is the wisest thing that an individual and a couple can do.
Yeah.
Okay, that was gonna be my next question. Yeah.
Because as couples, you argue. Now, every
Yeah.
little thing can become a major thing, He left his shoes over here, he left his underwear over here, she didn't fold the towels like my mama did, all that kind of
That's
stuff.
not what
Those
you
little
talking
things.
about.
Right.
It's what you can see.
Like,
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
As Pastor stated, I call it, we all have our cesspools. We all have demons, as Pastor called it, things within that we may not even be aware of
Yeah.
that affects us. Things we've gone through in life, We come from different backgrounds, so we all are impacted by different things.
Yeah.
When you come together as a couple, whether it be a married couple or a couple together, all those things play a role
Yeah.
in how you respond to one another.
Right.
So sometimes with the couple, you can't get beyond the arguing to
Yeah.
get to the real issue.
Mhm.
Counseling can help you with that, because counseling then, you got someone who's independent, who has don't have a dog in the fight at all,
Exactly.
who can stop and they're listening to both sides, then they can help ask some significant questions to draw you back to
Yeah.
what they hear at the heart.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you be sitting there fussing all day long. getting
And
over it.
keep you centered. Now, the
Yes.
problem lies in that is that sometimes in couple counseling that you need the individual counseling
Oh.
also.
Yes.
Mhm.
Because your true issue really not a couple issue.
Right.
It's stuff that you didn't get right before you got to the marriage.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
you dragging that stuff into
Yeah.
the marriage.
Extra bag.
Yep.
And now you
Yep.
dragging it to,
Yep.
and you dumping it on your spouse and say, fix it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I thought if I got you, you would fix it. But they not your
Right.
fixer, they your spouse.
They are. They are. I got so much meat on this bone right here. I could talk so
I was
much.
gonna say.
I want to talk. And I'll be honest with you. I mean, God is raining down on us because I got my two boys here, and I was like, if I ever get on this topic and they're here, I don't want to really talk too much. But they're up there, they're peaceful, right? They're good. So I feel like I can talk freely. And I would say for me, being married 12 years and then divorced, and I take accountability for all the wrongdoings that I've done in the marriage and everything. But when we talk about sitting on the couch, I have no problem sitting on the couch, and I only entertain sitting on the couch when we realize our marriage is it's almost done. Like we need counseling, and then we got to the counseling, and it was just kind of like what you just alluded on. It's like, hold up, like she's got to take accountability, I got to take accountability, but we're at this counseling place, but it's so much trauma at this point. It's almost like the counseling session is just like, oh, you barking at me, and I'm like, okay, we're not getting anywhere. So I asked for individual, and we did individual counseling before our marriage went to to the end, and it didn't work. It phased out or whatever. But when we talk about sitting on the couch, and I'll tell you where I went wrong in my marriage, because this bro code panel, like, it's been such a blessing to me because it gives me a platform to just talk. And what I realized, when I look back at my whole life, is just I wanted a platform where I can talk. So I was raised by and I never called him my stepfather because he came in and done a phenomenal job raising me and my little brother. But it was his way or no way. So I didn't have no voice coming up. So now that I got to adulthood, I finished college and everything like that, I thought I was gonna be married at 23, fresh out of college. That's what I wanted. It didn't work, So I get to this point where it's like now I feel like my clock ticking, So I'm dating a woman and she has a child. 3 years go by, 4 years. 3 years is my like, okay, we made it past 3 years, so okay. Now her brother's looking at me like, man, what you gonna do?
Yeah.
So now we get married and everything. Did I get married for the right reasons? I don't think I did. I know I did. But when we talk about sitting on the couch, where I went wrong in my marriage is I found comfort in talking to someone, but it was someone that I shouldn't have been talking to. Maybe maybe a co-worker, maybe, you know what I'm saying? So I found myself finding comfort in that, thinking that's my therapy, that's my outlet, that's the wrong way. That's the wrong way. So that's kind of where I'm at and everything. And then I was married to a woman that she had a big family, she was all over the place doing this and that. So she knew I was self-sufficient, but I really wasn't.
She was depending on somebody else to fulfill what you needed from her.
Yeah.
So let me say,
And that's an easy trap to fall into. So not beat yourself up because you're not the only one.
Right.
Men do it, but women do it as well.
Very
Yeah.
easy to happen.
It's easy to talk to somebody that's not in the situation because you can get off of your chest what you need.
And then that person you're talking to,
They got
they might end up being, you'll hear them like on your side.
Right.
So you talking to them and they like your kind of your friend. They may like it, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But they say you feed them this stuff, and then they may be like, it's an opposite sex, and then they kind of consoling you. And he's like, see, my husband or my wife wouldn't say the same thing. She's just like all over the place.
Yep.
And then that's when you fall
She
into the
ain't,
trap.
but she ain't living with it.
She ain't living with us, right? She don't hear I snore at night. But I'll tell you,
get along with somebody at the water fountain.
No, I mean,
right.
That's the one about the
It's a good relationship.
It's always on
It's where you, like you say, where you have to go to bed together every night.
So I will. Oh, go
ask
ahead.
you real quick. So lately, I heard you say that when you and Pastor was basically Pastor said the number was 15 to beat 14. So what I want to know is, based on our audience out there, you as a woman, when you knowing that you married to this man, this number in his head, but you also know based on number one, the first thing you gotta do is to talk to each other. You know what I'm saying? So that by him talking to you, you already know, okay, his parents is making past 14 years. So I'm married to a man, he thinking that it ain't gonna go past that.
Well, that's interesting because I did not know that.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
It wasn't something
That was something.
It took counseling to get me to
Bingo.
understand.
Yes.
It wasn't something that I
Yeah.
verbalized.
That was not verbal. He didn't even recognize internal
That's
values.
that's even better. So the point I'm making is the fact that he took counseling and you found that out. Now my question to you as a woman, now how did that shape the present and the future going forward? It's okay, this man thinks like this. Me as his woman, me as his partner, how should my mindset be to let him know, okay, baby, you able to sit down on that couch and talk about that. Now that I know that, now you don't necessarily have to sit down on that couch. You can come to me. I'm gonna build an environment where we can talk to each other to get to 3, 4, 50, past the 14. So you as a woman, enlighten us on how you feel like women should really, because like every man ain't gonna talk. Every man ain't gonna tell you everything. Some men feel like Alan just said, I can go to the other woman and say 2 or 3 words and automatically she already know how I'm feeling and it makes it fall into that trap even worse. You see what I'm saying?
Going back to, first of all, it begins with my initial commitment. My parents were married and they still are married. My father died how many years ago? My father died years ago.
20.
So all I ever saw was commitment and marriage level. Was my parents' marriage perfect? No. But first of all, that was what I saw. Secondly, when I knew I loved this man, he captured my heart. I said I do forever. It didn't matter what transpired. So when life got crazy, he started acting really crazy. My not even understanding and knowing what was going on internally with him though, that just made me buckle down more to just try to stay still, figure out what's going on. And then we actually went to counsel together because we were arguing over silly crazy stuff. I was wise enough to know something is happening, although I have no idea what's happening. Because at that point, he wasn't willing or able to share with me what was happening because he wasn't clear himself. It took an internal evaluation for him to identify what was going on with him. What did I do? I just stood still. Because I was committed no matter what. And it didn't matter what was going on. I wasn't going nowhere. He wasn't either.
So your first thought wasn't to run. It wasn't a
I
league.
never not. Well,
Abandoned
well,
ship.
I have ran away. I have left.
She
once.
left
I
me.
did
But you
leave
came
once,
back.
so, yeah. Oh
Well,
man.
she left within what, the first 6 months?
What's
A
it-
marriage?
Yeah, you know how y'all do now. You court us like crazy.
Right.
We're the number one. Everything's all on us.
Exactly.
Then after 6 months or a year, the boys get more time than the woman does. Y'all go through that, right? That became the point for me. It's like,
Yeah.
wait a minute, how you gonna drop me all of a sudden and everything's basketball? That was my man point though, but I had to get his attention.
Did he, okay, let me ask you this.
Huh?
Did he start playing more after you
He
got
didn't
married?
play basketball
I didn't
before.
play until we built. It was available, and we built hoops in the backyard, and all the neighbors, we all went to school together. So we just, all of us were married, but most of us married by then. So all the husbands go in the backyard and just shoot balls.
Oh, so you're not even away from the house. You in the backyard.
I'm in the backyard.
But every day,
So I
shoot
got.
soccer.
So I got.
I'm underway.
Yeah, I got something on this too, Rich.
So I was a baseball player, right?
Uh-huh.
So when I met my wife, I was still playing after college, right? So I was still playing on the weekends. That was my time to go play, right? And so
she understood that.
initially when we was dating, she was at my game
Okay, all right.
all the time, and sometimes it'd be a long weekend, right?
Uh-huh.
And so we get married, then have baby,
Uh-huh.
right?
Oh,
Then
life
it's,
changes.
then it's almost like, kind of say, hey, you out there for a long time,
Yes.
Yeah.
and then it was like, hey, you out there for a long time.
Yeah.
And hey, you just getting, you know what I mean? And so then it eventually got to where, and I'm like, hey, this is what I was doing before, but again, I had to realize that stuff is changing. And so I said, okay, this has been my thing forever,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
And so I finally said, hey, I gotta let it go, and now I'm feeding that energy now into my son.
Yeah. But you don't necessarily let it all go. That's it. But there has to be a balance.
But like in my particular situation, the level of competition that I was playing at,
Oh, you have to be there all the time.
it was a true commitment.
Okay.
It's either you here
Yeah.
or you're not. It's not like a part-time type
Right.
thing. It's not just like, hey guys, let's go over here right after work to hit a couple softballs. I was playing competitive baseball.
Right.
Well, my friends, even at this age now, I'm 40, right? Some of my friends ask me, do I want to play? They still travel, like they're going to California and stuff like that. I can't do that.
You can't do it anymore. Yeah.
And once the family dynamics change a little bit there.
Yeah.
Which
one you want more? Which one you want
It's
more?
responsibility.
Right, yeah, that was key,
You
though.
know your priorities.
Well, I think what folks fail to realize in marriage is that marriage is a negotiation, not just year one.
Yeah.
Uh,
Continuously.
we get tomorrow be year 41, and we still negotiate.
Absolutely, yeah.
It never ceases.
Yeah.
I wish I could tell you get to the place where you just say go to sleep, but it's a
So much
negotiation.
tolerance, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the thing in a negotiation, realize that I don't have to win all the time.
Right. To go back to what O asked, so nothing changed for me. Even learning and knowing that his definition was 14 years, it didn't really matter at that point in time because I knew what we had built.
She was on steakhouse, we had one chicken account.
Always there with checking account. So nothing changed there for me, but more understanding though. But he had to work through that little, I call it the cesspool or septic tank for those who didn't come from the country like I did.
Oh yeah. We know all that. We know all that.
Yep, he had to work through that.
Yeah.
My role was to stand by him as he worked through that.
So, I hear you say your job was to stand by him. Like I just feel like we in a whole different world now, bro.
I
Because
totally
like,
agree, yes.
no, and me, like
I agree with you.
Totally
like,
agree with
down-
that.
every time I'm on the show, I'm man enough to admit, like, I take counseling on a weekly basis. Like I'm saying, so every week that I'm taking counseling, it's more so for me to be a better O than anything.
Right.
But one of the things that I'm learning, just like I said, like I told Alan, me and Alan talked about this show. Like one of the things that God placed in my heart when He first gave me this show was it's more of a therapy. It was supposed to be a therapeutic session for me, but it ended up being a therapeutic session for all of us and all men who basically want to be able to voice their opinion, but just don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
So I just feel like basically, doing therapy you know, it's making me be a better person. But one of the things that I struggle with the most, and me and Pastor, we talk about this a lot, I'm saying, is being able to just find that one woman that you feel like that, you know, you can be just talked to about anything. But and then we have women that basically, once they get in a predicament like you, like, where they see that, okay, I'm saying he got some issues and stuff. I'm saying like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know what I'm saying. But you want the ring on your finger,
But see, that's
and you want
that's
me to. But and the thing that I don't understand, when you see the stuff that I've been through, and you feel like those are flaws that you can't deal with, but when the shoe is on the other foot, you want me to stay.
Yeah, I want to chime. I want to chime. I've been hanging over this.
Okay.
I've been trying.
Okay.
It's killing me when I tell you I got a lot of meat on the bone. I got enough meat on the bone. So when I hear you talk, and I'm like, okay, she got it, and you probably have been an inspiration to a lot of women in your life, and a lot of couples and everything like that yourself too. So this is good for us. This is good for us men that's trying to grow, you know. But I hear you talking about the first 6 months, and you're like, you go shooting basketball, like, I'm a lead, I'm out, right?
I
You know.
went down to the corner and called him back.
And then call her back, right? You ain't going nowhere.
Alan, you didn't get the end of the story.
Yeah.
And so she left.
Yeah.
It's bad when they leave you don't know they're gone.
I think someone would take that and go, what do you mean you know you go?
Because I go in the house,
Yeah.
so I'm thinking, okay.
Yeah.
Then it's midnight. She
Oh.
still lay back and she never been gone
Right.
that long.
Yeah.
And so I go to sleep.
Right. Oh, that might be another issue. Yeah, man, I'm gone.
This was before cell phones. wasn't it?
Wait, it wasn't that cell phone.
Oh, okay.
You gotta remember this 41 years, 40 years ago.
No people.
We had no cell
With no
phone.
people, with no cell phone.
Right.
Amen. So she had to have a quarter. No, it wasn't a dime back then. She had to have a dime to go to the corner and pay phone. And she called back to the house and say, why you didn't come to get me? I said, where are you?
Oh, man, you in
I'm
trouble
down
again.
to
Right.
She say, then she say, are you gonna act right? I said, what do you act? I'm just not realizing you gone. You gonna act right? I said, act right. She said, you out there playing basketball all the time and don't pay me no more attention. Are you gonna act right? Are you gonna tell me to come home? I didn't tell you to leave.
Right.
It's my husband, yes.
Straight up. Straight up.
She
Straight up.
did. I said, I didn't tell you to leave. She said, I'm coming home, but you better act right.
So that was my
Get
lead.
this, Jackie.
Oh, man.
She was down at the corner all alone, down at the laundromat, amen, which was literally 100 yards from the house.
Waiting on you to come find me.
Right.
But hey,
So
you
now,
gotta get the picture, you gotta get the attention though.
Right.
She got my attention.
That was
Right.
it.
Yeah,
that
So,
was
but
it.
after that 6 months, y'all had 40 plus years of marriage and everything like that. And I know y'all had your ups and downs
Yes,
and everything.
definitely.
But what it sounds like, and I want to get on this topic of, have y'all ever heard of, I'm sure your ministry, idolize you. When
I
some-
lied to
no,
I like you.
idolize you.
No,
This-
watch. So that is.
Yeah. So it's like when one person idols another person.
Okay.
It's idolize. It's hard to say.
Okay.
Ideology?
No, it's not.
No,
We're talking about idolizing.
Like, I'm saying
almost.
worshiping.
Yeah, when worship that person.
Yeah, you hold
And-
the other with a higher esteem.
Yes,
Yourself.
yes.
Almost to the place where you look down, you got low self-esteem, so this person,
That-
you put them in the place of
There it
God,
is.
they become your God.
It's such a hard word to say,
Mhm.
but it's something that's really happening in relationships right now because people have low self-esteem
Okay.
and they make that person their idol.
Yeah, the idol, everything.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You didn't do that.
You will not know.
Yeah. So you went
Right,
to
you went
to your higher power,
She
right?
didn't have no self-esteem problem.
Right. and I think that's very important in relationships. I think that's very
Wait,
important in
you
relationships.
have to be able to be
Confident in yourself.
you.
Yes.
Don't put don't make me your everything where I have to be responsible for your joy and for your
Yeah.
happiness.
Yeah.
It's
Idolatry, idolatry is the word,
And then you
Okay.
make them your
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, and you can't do that.
And
Yeah.
your spouse is not your God.
Right,
Right,
They're your spouse.
Yeah.
And so you gotta be cognizant of that.
right.
Yes.
Because then you're looking for perfection
yes,
from somewhere, but you don't have the perfection to offer.
right,
So you're not measuring yourself and your spouse as the same yardstick.
right.
I want to go back to something that O said that too. Like, mine can take me back there. Getting attention. Before you said that, though, oh Lord, help me, Jesus. And getting past the attention. You just make the statement. The point I want to bring out now is you talk about the difference in now and back then.
Mhm.
You make the statement that people come in and they see a couple, someone in a couple may say, well, I'm not willing to go through that. I think couples make the mistake right now of pre-setting up, determining what they're not gonna go through.
They have
They already
parameters
have
already
already
set.
set up.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
can't do that,
Yeah.
because we're marrying imperfect individuals.
And that's
What-
changing.
Yes,
And the person she married 41 years
It's
ago
totally
is
different.
not the same person.
Mhm.
but we're not ready for those changes that take.
I don't think people understand that part.
Yeah.
That
Yes.
the person you married, 10 years ago is not gonna be the same person. Let alone 10 years later, but even 2 to 3 months later.
Back when she married me, I weighed 150 pounds and I was lifting 300.
We're not talking about weight.
in the gym and look now.
But beyond
But
that,
that's
though,
all,
Then she
that's all
just
place
told
for
me
the
this morning, say, hey, your
congregation.
legs got skinny, your gut got
That's love, though. That's
and I'm gonna
love.
take it off,
Hey,
take it off.
but she still loves
She
you, do
still
it all.
loves
me.
41
You
years.
see,
That's
how
all.
life
That's
changes.
all.
That's
That's
how- see, when you're young, you look in the mirror and you say, this how I always gonna be at, till all that stuff start falling.
Yep.
And then you be saying, damn.
But it goes back deeper than that too.
It's deeper than that.
It's deeper
Because
than
it's the
that.
love that you know that you transitioning.
Yeah.
And you transitioning, you transitioning with each other.
Right.
And as you make a transition, you're okay. Realizing I'm okay.
Right.
I'm okay.
There's no perfection.
And I love what Rico said that we just went to Jamaica. Enjoy. Life is short.
Yes.
Yeah, my wife is a big stickler now on moments. And
Yeah.
There you go.
and
Yes.
memories,
I
right?
like
Yes.
that.
Yes.
So
Yes.
instead of buying a bunch of stuff for you for a birthday or something like that, let's make a moment with
Yes.
each other. Let's make
Yes.
a moment with the kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Stuff
Yeah.
like that, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, at the end of the day, when you laying in that bed or whatever, and maybe you can't move or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We have been
Well, we
there.
did.
What you gonna do is you gonna run those memories
That's right.
through your mind.
That's what it's all about.
That purse don't matter no more. That
None
net
of it
shoes
matters. None of it matters.
Yeah.
don't matter.
That's the way to be.
You know, one of the hardest things I'm going through right now is in my divorce, and and I'm not a big social media guy, but I am a guy that like when I have my family and we're all together, I pride myself on taking my family on family vacations and trips and everything like that, and capturing the moments.
Yes.
So being on Facebook, taking pictures, and then now it's like, okay, I'm divorced. Like all these memories are popping up.
Mhm.
All these memories, and that goes back. That comes to the trauma that I'm going through. It's like, man, I went through these 12 years.
How long
like,
you been divorced at?
I've been divorced going on 3 months now.
Oh,
Very
you're
fresh.
fresh.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
very fresh.
Very fresh. Very fresh. Yeah. I fought and I had to fight for my kids because when you're dealing with bitterness and hurt and pain on the other side, it's like I don't take your kids away from you and this and that. So I had to fight. So I went through a very expensive divorce process and legal and all that. But it's good. I got my kids and I got my time with my kids, but it's still hard, right? Because now it's like my kids want to see more of me. So I'm seeing these memories and everything. So it's hard,
It's hard to go from every single day.
Yeah.
Well, the thing you gotta remember is you don't marry somebody that you don't like
Right.
and don't love.
Right.
And
Hopefully you not.
well,
Right.
and I hear people say I got married for the wrong reason, but no matter even if you got married for the wrong reason, that still don't go away. Once they get a piece of your heart, I wish I could tell you to give it back, but they don't.
Right, right.
And I just want to go back again to what you
Right.
said, because it connects with what you say right now.
Yeah.
You made the statement again about what folks say about, I didn't sign up there and all that kind of stuff there, though. One of the things Pastor asked when we go to, we have marriage counsel, so we do counsel together. Sometimes he does by himself there with a couple. But one of the things he asked, it goes back to what you all are talking about, is he asked the couples, are you, both parties, can you accept this person just where they are? No changes, nothing changes. This is what you got, this is what you got for life.
Yeah.
Are you willing to live with this? You have to ask yourself that question, because the change is gonna take place. So, but I got issues already with the way he does this, or the way she does that. I'm already starting out wrong.
And if you're aware of,
Yes.
because sometimes even in premarital, I can point out issues, but if they already don't sent the invitation out, they ignore it.
Yeah.
No, I'm getting married. We paid $300 for no invitation,
Yeah.
and some of them just want pictures.
It's a piece of paper though.
Yeah, that's
It's
all it
much
is.
deeper than
But
that.
it's deeper than that,
Yeah.
because still, if you go that far, there's a piece of your heart that you never get back.
So, I know that.
You never get it back. You can both of you go your separate ways, but there's a piece that you never get back. You just live with it, but it's a piece that you don't get back.
So for the ones of us who's basically dating, trying to, figure it out.
We'll be praying for you this day time.
Yeah, I don't even want to be in a dating world. I'll be honest with you. Like, I feel like I'm gonna be single for the rest of my life now. Like I don't.
Now,
I want
one thing I discovered about
Yeah,
people
yeah.
that's been married is that
Mm.
most people who have experienced, especially 12 years, Alan, I give you a year and a half. And I know you don't feel it right now. And the reason why I see it over and over
Yes.
again, those that was in marriage, no matter how bad it was, after a while they just don't like being by themselves.
Right.
And,
Right.
and shacking up don't do what marriage does.
Yeah.
And so
A lot of folks try to make
try to
it,
make
but
it,
it's
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
but it's not.
And I don't even want to go down that lane.
Yeah.
Yep, I don't even want.
But the dating thing, well, I don't know nothing about dating. Should they
We
date?
only date. We only date.
You ain't dated for 41 years.
And he ain't gonna be dating.
She said that quick.
But you can't, okay, think about today. So think
I
about
told her
today,
she
Jay.
better not die.
I
Cause you
know. If
feel
I
like don't
die
need harmony.
first, he gonna be married in a year and not less, cause he can't be married.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna tell
I
you
did that with you.
what technology and stuff does for you now, right? Is that it's probably all of you guys got somebody that you probably looked at in the past that you may have dated or wish you never would have broke up with in the past or whatever. You can still, the social media and all this kind of stuff, you can find those people, maybe reconnect. Maybe go out for, I don't know, call, whatever, right?
It's strange that you mentioned that, Rico.
Yeah.
Yesterday I did a wedding
Mm-hmm.
of a high school sweetheart couple.
Mm-hmm.
It's 20 years before they came full circle back to each other. He's been married, had 4 kids. She's never been married, had no kids. But
They
they
got married yesterday.
got married.
Right.
yesterday.
That's a good circle back.
Yeah.
That's good.
You know how they found it? How you know how they reconnected?
Well,
That's a good circle back.
their families always knew, so it wasn't like they was a great distance apart. But come to find out that they ran into each other.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't social media, but they ran into each other because they were in the same proximity, which helps. But when you have people that's cross country, I see that still.
Yeah,
Where
because a lot of people meeting.
90% of the folks I'm married now met online. I'm up here.
Meeting online?
Yeah, and I'm up here. Shoot, there wasn't no line, but I was.
It's the easiest way to meet people now.
But
And it's like a screening process. Like you can
Oh,
weed
you
out
like-
those people.
yeah, but what?
I mean,
Even with the screen
That's what they
process,
tell me. I'm just,
even with the screening process, you
Now,
need to know the person.
Jay,
That's what I heard, Pastor.
Jay.
All right, then.
Jay, after I saw this TikTok and this girl, how she looked before she put on that makeup.
Don't get me started on
Right. I
that.
don't want no parts no
You don't know what
online.
you got.
I'm sorry.
I said, nah.
You
Thank you for the 41
I
years
said,
old.
go to the bathroom,
Let me
wash
see,
your
how
face.
you
Let
slowly
me see.
these days.
Right, really, let's see what you look like.
Let me see your real hair.
Right, exactly.
Like Plies said, you could call the police because it say the same person that came home with me last night.
Well, I just feel like, man, like, you know, going through the dating process in today's world, like I was saying, like, one of the main things as far as this topic with the sacrifice and just trying to, you know, build a team, I just feel like, you know, we, like, the men, we have to do our part too. So I just feel like if you have an issue, you should be man enough to be able to admit that. You know, me personally, I tell women all the time, like, you know, you have women that basically look for a man that's just gonna come out and just take care of their every needs. I'm not that dude. I'll tell you from the get-go, I'm not that dude. Okay, you know what I'm saying? But I am that guy that basically I feel like two heads is better than one. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, you know, if your car needs tires on it and my car needs tires on it, okay, you want me to focus on your tires, but then we got your tires and you rolling, but I'm not rolling.
But you ain't
You know what I'm
married,
saying?
so
You know what I'm saying?
you don't time.
But here's the thing.
We talked about that today.
But here's my thing.
Married, those
That's
expectations.
why I brought
We
it
talked
up.
about that.
Yeah,
We talked about that.
sure enough, we're not married.
Mhm.
But if we're trying to get to that point, if we can't get along and work together here, what makes things gonna be able to do
Let me
when we back?
can I ask a question?
Let him
Let
tell
me ask you a question.
You hard from expectations.
Let's go
came
to
back
those
now.
tires
You
real
came
quick.
back.
Go to those tires real quick.
Uh-huh.
You need tires on your truck. Your wife needs tires on your truck.
No, they not right.
They not married.
No, I'm saying he's
No,
been
no.
married. He's been married.
Relationship. Don't talk about relationship. We gotta help our
This is
brother.
dating, right?
It's a
We gotta help our
difference.
brother
Dating
out.
versus marriage.
We gotta help our brother.
Okay, Dave.
Yeah.
Do you? Okay, I'm gonna flip it up on you. Do you plan on? Do you see this girl as the one that you might marry?
Yes.
Yes, 100%. Like no ifs, ands, buts about it. You need tires. She need tires. Who tires you gonna put on the car? Hers or yours?
It depends.
Depends on what.
I feel like if we work together, we can put tires on both of them.
Look,
one
answer the question.
You the man.
Whose
You the king.
tires
Hey.
gonna have the whose car is gonna have the tires? Her car or your truck?
My truck.
Why?
Because it's
Because he
my
said-
truck. My truck. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So thank you. I'm with him, right? So
I didn't hear what Kyle said.
he said
Stay in your truck, like you said.
right? So the thing about it is, if you're riding around right and you got some bad tires, right? Say for instance you have a flat, right? You are the man. You can handle that. So now you don't have to worry about your lady, your
Yeah,
future
step
wife,
on the side of the road.
being on the side of the road, man. So you got to sacrifice even at that point if you serious about her.
Right.
If you not, if you just like, she alright, you know what I'm saying? She come over and help me do a little bit of this, do a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Man, good luck, girl. Good
And,
luck
and, and that's really what we talking about. That's the topic.
because
That's the topic.
if she really thinks that you are her dude, right? When she had that problem, she gonna be all the way on the west side of Atlanta, and then she gonna call you and say, "I'm stuck," and you still gonna have to go do something if you care about her. If you gonna make that sacrifice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what this conversation was
But
about.
that's
So,
That's-
since we all in this whole thing, we've been talking about it.
Right.
So I know you now. I done heard it where
Yeah.
ain't really ready 100%
Well, you did it.
sacrifice.
Let's
You
go
did
back
it.
to
So,
what it is.
so I'm gonna get you.
You snatched your brother up. You snatched him up.
This your little brother.
You snatched him
I'm gonna come
up.
at you.
Let's
There
go
you
back to
go.
something you said earlier though. Let's go back to just a little
Right.
bit.
Keep
though.
your head up, man. Keep your head up. We good, man.
Let's go
I
back.
tried to get him last time. You got him.
Let's back up just for a second though,
Yeah.
because the first thing that came out was expectations from individuals, how things are different now than in the past. I totally agree with that. I think so many sisters, I'm not knocking on you bad, but I see so many women they're basically looking for the man to provide all this stuff for them.
Oh,
You
They're
repeat
looking
that one more time.
But that's
But I ain't got through yet.
But that's a little bit different than the situation I'm talking about.
Yeah, but I'm headed that way.
Yeah, come on, lady A.
So
Come on,
this
lady
is
A.
from the lady, from the lady herself. What do we
Repeat
say?
that one more time,
Please
lady
repeat that.
A. Please repeat that.
Hit me on the head.
They're looking for a sugar daddy.
Essentially, yeah.
But let me
Because I
finish
get
though.
that's
It's
They
bad.
don't
Lost
need
in
to-
It's bad, lady. It's bad.
I hear them, look. I'm
bad.
not age, but I still keep hearing
It's
them.
bad, lady.
But the problem is, hey, yeah, you're looking for someone, you're looking for a partner,
Mhm.
an equal partner. I don't see individuals looking for an equal partner now. Whatever you're looking for in a man, you ask yourself the question, do I have that same thing to give to him? Because it's just an equalness. Marriage is two people together. I can't be looking for that man. He goes right about everything. So when we are building a relationship, commitment ain't been made yet, but I'm expecting him to make all the sacrifices for me. It ain't quite even yet though. Now we made the commitment.
Mhm.
And we at that place now where we decide we're gonna get together. Now there's some expectations now. I can have a relationship. I can expect him to do certain things for me, just as he can expect things and do things for
But that's
him.
why I put the stipulation on serious versus
Yes,
he dating 2 or 3 different women.
right.
Right.
But see, that's what
That's
that's the
See,
difference.
ain't no,
That's
hey,
the
don't expect me to
difference.
put your tires on there or whatever, or
That's the
don't
difference.
expect me to fix
Right.
your car and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But at the point that you say, this is my lady,
That's it.
this is gonna be my lady
That's it.
forever,
Yeah.
and you said that in your mind, then at that point you need to start saying, I'm gonna do whatever, I can to make
I'm
sure
willing
she's
to make a
safe.
sacrifice.
Yeah.
That's
You know,
what-
make sure she's not really wanting or needing for anything,
Mhm.
right? Like
But that should go both ways.
Of course.
Yes.
That's why I say it should go both ways.
That's what he's saying. In
Right.
doing that, it's gonna make it go both ways because
But
now
it should go
she
away
can.
beforehand.
Thank you, lady. It
go
should.
away beforehand.
Beforehand.
Right. Beforehand,
But,
it
but
should.
she'll know that she can depend on you, so
Yes.
then she'll let you know that you can depend on her.
Yeah.
But listen,
But
here's the
if she-
thing.
but it-
If you got a situation where she knows she can depend on you, but she don't know you can depend on her,
Why
because
is
she
it-
ain't even show you that.
But-
Why
but see,
is
but
it
see,
serious?
that's-
Why
that
is
one
it
is
serious?
It's not serious.
Why is it
Yeah.
Why is it
It's
serious?
wrong.
It should be serious. Isn't it?
Look, before let me say this back a little bit. Before you say I'm 100% serious, that should already be determined.
Yeah.
She should already shown you that
Yeah.
she's there for you, and
There
you
you
showing
go.
her that you're
There you
there
go.
for her,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so now y'all are there for each other, and in that point in them tires, she gonna get the tires.
But-
Right?
That's where the blinders got to be off. You know.
Now, I think what
We
we're
missed them.
missing,
Okay.
what we're missing
Okay.
is how an individual falls.
Thank you.
And what I mean fall is that knowing Orlando personally, he fall easily.
He falls in
Yeah,
love,
yeah,
falls
yeah.
for individual.
Well, he can't distinguish between love and fleeing,
Okay.
so he falls
Mm.
easily. And
It's
so
called you
because-
out on camera.
Hey, this is good.
Got it.
We keep it real on this shit.
Hey, I like it.
But it's
so,
so-
right.
But he not.
That's
A lot
good.
of people
That's
can't
good.
go.
Right.
A lot of
Women
people
fall
can't.
faster than me.
I'm gonna pass the coffee out too.
Yeah.
Let me know why that too.
And when you fall, and if you live in the reality of expectation that because I followed, that the other person has also, and they might not be as committed as you are, and because they're not as committed as you are, you have to recognize that. You don't take it personal. They just don't move.
So how do you fix that? That I guess that's a personal thing.
That's personal.
Right.
But because sometimes what you gotta recognize, am I okay with myself?
Yeah.
See, I've shared with them before. Be all right being alone.
You know, it can be hard though.
It's hard, but be all right being alone until you have become comfortable with you without anybody else making you.
Yes.
Now, what I'm telling you, I don't know nothing about, but I
Cause I've been there all along.
Cause he's never been alone.
That's
That's pretty deep. Yeah.
But that's true though.
Yeah. In that way, when you get to that place, that I'm old school. Rico, I firmly believe that my wife should have the best car in the driveway.
Always
That's just me. And if something happened to hers, then it ain't no my car, your car. Whatever the best vehicle in the driveway, that's what she gonna drive. What's got the best tires on it, it's gonna drive. So because that's
Old fashioned like that.
I'm old fashioned.
Even if you got 24-inch rims on your truck and you
I
know
ain't
she gonna hit the curb, you gonna let her drive it,
I ain't
right?
riding that.
Oh, well,
Now,
yeah.
you've driven my car.
I don't like driving your car.
You don't like that?
You're a man, y'all don't
Because
like that.
I do have 20 inches on my wheel. And
I can drive wherever I want to, even at the curb.
But you give them keys though, those pastor.
Yeah.
Now she got her own key.
Oh,
She got her own key.
Yeah.
We don't have.
But she earned that key.
You
There
know,
you go.
yeah. She's 41 years in.
you can't say that because I've had a car ever since we started dating, and she had the key to all my cars. And that she just, if she had, I wasn't in it, she could go do what she wanted to do. Because we never had that yours, mine. We just didn't play that. I still don't play that. To this day, is that whatever's in the driveway, whatever in the house. Sometimes it gets in trouble because sometimes we eat each other's last piece of cake. Or
Well, I was about to say, they don't want my wife to be messing with her leftovers. Like, come to the restaurant, she say, don't be eating my food in there.
My son may beat both.
That's the one exception. That's the one exception.
No, we don't even have those sort of exceptions. Our baby boy is still at home with us. And if we left it, that means we didn't want it. It's a good
He's
time.
got to go.
You just got to go.
Got to go.
But the thing is that is by not having, and I know everybody gonna be calling in talking about what about privacy? Marriage wipes out privacy.
Yeah, your phone.
Talk about
and I
what
want
you
that
doing
kind
on my
of
phone? No. You can't check my email. No.
We have the same email.
If you get married,
I'll give you
ain't no
one.
Oh yeah. My wife.
Yeah, I want all
she
that.
got
I want
code to
all
my
that.
phone.
Yeah,
I hand it to her.
my thing that's an issue if I have to have two phones. And my thing is, what is it that she can't know and that you don't want her to know and that you don't want me to know? Because if I'm in this a team thing, is that whatever come our way, we need to both be prepared.
Yeah.
Rubber hit the road, the team has to work
Yeah,
it out.
you know, and I think for what we're talking about in this segment is like establishing a common goal.
There you go. There you go.
Establishing a common goal.
What do you
Because
want to
if,
change?
if we're both on the same page and we're trying to establish this goal, then you know what? All the stuff that we've talked about today, we're gonna be on the same page. And I think that's the hardest part right there is finding that common goal. And what should that goal be? What should that goal
You on the
be?
same
Should
together,
it,
though.
what should that be? Raising kids or just living, you know, I watch the segment. I do a lot of YouTube now because I have a lot of alone time now. I have a lot of alone time now and I work from home, so like I can hear myself think, you know. And what I've come to realize is that the key to happiness, the true key to happiness is integrity.
I agree with you.
And that's in any type of relationship.
Integrity.
In any type of
I
relationship.
can be in any situation, I can be in any conversation, and I can be in any relationship, friendship, whatever, and I can just say, this is what I'm doing, this is where I'm at, this is what.
Integrity.
Integrity.
Yeah.
You don't gotta lie about anything. I think that's the
good.
true
That's
key
good.
to happiness,
That's good.
but it's so hard to get
You
there.
gotta be careful with that.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
And let me tell you.
Talk to me, Pastor,
Tell
talk
you
to
the
me.
reason why. Is that my wife asked me a question.
Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me, Pastor, talk to
I
me.
look like I'm getting some wrinkles around my eyes.
Timing is everything.
I just looked at it. Do it look like I'm?
Yes, I got
So you just said you beautiful. Beautiful, baby.
That should have been your response now, Pastor.
I guess
No, baby.
Yeah, but you have to
You
weigh
for
out the
this day
time.
one.
You got
Yeah.
you have to know when
I
she
am.
really want to hear, and then when she really don't want to hear.
You didn't answer
And
the
now I'm
question.
confused after 40 years.
If he's looking for
Cause I'm
one,
trying to look-
how do I really answer
Right.
this question?
Right.
Because she really wants to know.
Right.
Because there are times we want to know exactly what you see. Other times, give me
What I want to hear.
Because
I just said
integrity is so hard.
Froze you.
Integrity is so hard.
Hey, we don't like-
It's so hard. You know,
Yeah.
I can ask you. I'm like, are y'all comfortable sitting in chairs right now?
No,
You might not, you might be uncomfortable, but
I'm gonna
if
tell
you're
you.
like, nah, I ain't
One
uncomfortable.
thing
You know?
gonna let her tell you, even from the pulpit,
Yeah.
on me.
Right.
And usually whatever come
Very
up,
real, yes.
I really don't have much of a filter
That's
nowadays.
it.
So
That's it. Yeah.
it comes out. So you ain't gotta guess.
Right.
Yeah.
Ain't
Right about that.
no guessing game.
If you
So should that translate into marriage as well? Like
We don't
not
guess
having
it.
a filter, so that way
We don't guess.
nobody has
I
to
have
guess.
that filter
But you
on
gotta be
that.
careful with that.
You gotta be careful
Mm.
in knowing
Yeah, you gotta be careful.
how to answer certain things.
Yes.
Amen. And you don't have to answer everything.
Cause you want the truth, but you don't want to be.
But
truth
no,
can be hurtful
but
too, though.
not answering.
Yeah.
That's
It's
worse than
answering.
answering, right?
That's worse than
Not
answering. Right.
necessarily.
Well, no, after 41 years, no, it don't matter.
It don't matter.
Cause I know the answer already before I ask.
She
But in
knew
year
before
one
John
and
answers
she,
off the top.
she had already looked.
Yeah, yeah.
It had already made a determination
That's
what it
we-
was before she
So-
asked me.
Yeah.
Like, my wife did this to me, so I was in a fitness competition, right? So I went from like 230 to 190, right?
Oh, man.
Abs and all this kind of stuff. And she let me do it, you know, it was months and months of work, right? And so when I did my final weigh-in, you know, she knew exactly when I was doing it. When I got back to my desk at work, there was a pizza and a 2-liter there, right? And then, because I hadn't been eating that kind of stuff, she knew I liked it or whatever. But then she finally said, I said, "You get your present?" I was like, yeah. She's like, "Okay, you gonna start back gaining weight again?"
She said, "You know have you been from the other women?"
She, well, no. She said when I married you, you was always a bigger dude. She's like, "That's what I liked about you."
Oh, okay. Oh,
So she
okay.
was true. She like, "I let you do your competition and everything."
I
said,
like
so
what I like.
She
I
said,
consider that.
so you don't like the abs and stuff?" She's like, "Yeah, they all right, but I want when I hug you, I want to, you know what I'm saying? I want to be, you know,
like a big man.
yeah.
Look, it makes you blush real
Cause you can hear the real
Hey,
yeah.
Rico, what she really tell you, if we get in a fight, I want to know what you made to protect.
But you heard the realness though. You heard the true realness in what she was stating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's tight.
And you like what you like.
Exactly. You like, you know. What you
People
like.
have types.
Yeah.
And people, you try to escape types, but you have types.
Yeah, we go
Whatever
back
that
to-
is,
Yeah.
yeah. And everybody know what it is for themselves, even if they don't have ownership for it.
So
Now, Orlando have a type,
What's his type?
a
Ooh.
walking woman.
Walking.
And a walking woman.
I think it was cheap. Listen, I was already prepared for that. When you said it, I was already prepared for that. I was already prepared for that.
You see how real they come together, right?
I was already prepared for it. I was already prepared for that.
You know how we always had these topics
That's
on
funny.
the show. So we be real. Like I told my wife and my sons, Lisa's a woman.
Thank
At
you.
least it's a woman, yeah.
Thank you,
That's a
Jesus.
whole nother come. That's a
Hello.
But we go back and forth. That's another conversation.
That's
I was
a whole
talking
nother
about
show. That's a whole
Hello.
nother show right
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
So what I'm learning, man, just listen to y'all, as far as just the sacrificing and the teamwork. I think one of the lessons I'm listening to, just listen to everybody and listen. I think one of the lessons I'm learning is basically maybe I just got too many high expectations. You know what I'm saying? Like, but me personally, I just feel like if you're trying to get to the 40 years, I feel like I just truly feel like it should start at the dating side. Like you should be able to. I just feel like that.
Let me, that's where you feel it, and I grasp that. But the thing is that you put a lot of pressure on the individual to meet. See, you're the type of individual, you take a class, passing is not good enough for you.
I can relate to that.
Teacher class out there.
No, he's gonna teach you while he's in there, but he has to have an A. That's success. You know,
I'll take my C and keep going.
if he has to have the
Yeah, you
A,
gotta
C,
have A.
C is passing, it'll get you the job that you want, but internally that doesn't work for him. And so because that doesn't work for him, it takes it to the relationship. If I'm working this hard, you're gonna have to be working this hard.
So I be thinking like that too now, Pastor. I ain't
He
gonna
knows
lie.
it so well, but he took
No, that's real. That's real.
Like,
I'm a C type of guy.
you know, we got, you know, especially single guys, you know, we went to college, you know, got extra degrees, you know, that we probably didn't even have to get. And it's like, all right, if you ain't got but one or you ain't got none, then I'm looking at you a little cross-eyed like,
Why did they
Then
do something?
you have to ask yourself, well, why am I even considering her today?
Whoa.
But because if you're a C type of guy, you'll do that.
You saying because she don't
Yeah.
have a degree and you have a degree? That's
Well,
And that's important to your relationship.
Well, not just the relationship, but let's just be honest. Like financially, a person with multiple degrees versus a person that don't have no degrees. You know what I'm saying? Like financially, it's gonna be a
So
mismatch.
would you want her to match you financially?
Yeah.
I don't need mine to match. I don't need mine to
I
match.
wouldn't say match it.
I take pride in being a breadwinner. I'm good with that.
I'm a 50-50 person,
I'm good with
but
that.
I'm good with 60-40.
Okay.
I just want and then my thing is your salary don't even have to match mine.
So what if hers is more than yours?
Listen, I'm gonna say it.
Wait,
Your
what?
salary don't have to match mine.
Y'all
What I
about
want
to
to
go
see
to a whole
is,
other hour.
like
Now,
Pastor
what we
just
doing?
said, Pastor know me
What we
real
doing?
well.
We about to go into a whole
The
other.
work
I got a lot of meat on the bone.
Listen, hold on, listen.
All right,
The
go
work I put in, I just want to see you put the same work in. It don't matter.
Let me
To
ask
me,
you
the
So you talking about jobs?
No, I'm talking about period.
In the relationship.
The relationship, period.
Oh, okay.
All aspects.
All aspects.
Okay.
So let me ask a question then.
Oh wow, we about to.
You gotta open up the can.
Yeah,
Are you
Talk
ready for
about
that?
expectation.
No, we can go. We can go. You want to go?
No, we're good.
We're gonna,
No, you got it. All right, let's go. Let's
So
go.
let's talk about expectations. Y'all have expectations.
Right.
Okay? What do you base those expectations on? Are you basing the expectation on what you want now? What you want later? What's ultimately, you mentioned integrity.
Yeah.
Sometimes our expectations can be at a place where is it really true integrity we're working with? But I think sometimes I'm listening to you guys and I'm thinking, are we really, things we really want and desire, maybe later, are we really looking for that in the beginning?
Common goal. I think for me, common goal.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you a question. I don't mean to be.
Go ahead. I'm ready for it.
What is your goal? I keep hearing that common goal, but what is it that you want out of
Yeah.
life?
I want a life of peace, and I want a life of family. I want family and peace. We go through our ups and downs, and for me, I just want to be able to lead a life to help me and my seeds and blessings to go far in life. I don't know. I don't know how to put that in one word. I don't know, because everything I do is for the betterment of what's mine.
What's mine? Explain that.
Whatever God blesses me with. If He
Okay.
blesses me with kids, He blesses me with a
Okay.
wife,
Okay.
kids,
Okay.
mom, dad,
Mhm.
brother, aunts, uncles. That's all mine.
Mhm.
So family.
Yeah.
For me,
Family is
Family.
Yeah.
I'm a family guy. So for me, my common goal, make my family successful.
Okay.
That's it.
Go back to the expectation. I want to ask you guys, imagine you're going into a relationship without any expectation. Remove the expectation hat. Just go into, you see someone, they look interesting, you have a conversation, right, but bells and whistles go off, no. Just starting to get to know one another, to find out what is within that person before your expectation hat comes out. Because it could be possible that we're overlooking, because how many of us really show our true selves in the very beginning?
Well, it's a representative. Like we talked about
But
that.
don't when you go and you're dating or you're out there looking for something, you're looking for particular things. Whether
Maybe,
so that is maybe I like tall women,
Uh-huh.
I like short women.
I'm talking about non-surface things.
Non-surface
things.
Not visual.
Not visual.
Because a lot of
Okay.
times, because visual, if you don't
Yeah.
have any visual in
Okay, if I was blind,
yeah.
right?
If
But
you-
okay, so maybe it's the way their personality. Like when I talk to them, the conversation. I want to have somebody that I can have a conversation about the news. A person that stays up on local
Yeah.
thing, current events. Sorry,
Right.
maybe that's something that you have to have when you're dealing with a person, right? Maybe because maybe like I grew up, like one of my main conditions for getting married was I wanted 100% wanted a wife that could cook, right? And that was like one of my big expectations. It was like So no surface stuff and all that kind of, when all that other stuff go, you know, that was one of my things that, you know, and like my wife, she told me she was interested in me because I was good with my hands.
Okay.
We were introduced by some friends. They was like, yeah, you want to talk to Rico? He redoing his whole house. He building this, he building that, and that attracted her to me. That was because she said, oh, she liked to do that, right? That was a part of her thing. She would change out light switches. She actually told Orlando how to help him do a light fixture or whatever, right? And so she was like, oh, he can do that. That attracted her to me, right? But so when you go out looking for something, I just feel that you have to be looking for something even outside of the physical, right? Once you start talking to them, and it's like you talking to them, and they may be talking about something that you like, wow, I'm like, I ain't even nobody be interested in something like that. It's just not like me, because you're looking for somebody that's just
You have
completely-
something to come.
something in common, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
again,
But one thing you
education
just
is below the
said,
surface,
you
yeah.
said all that, right? And you gave good examples of what men look for and what's, you know, people look for, mates look for. But you said even outside of the physical.
It has to be outside.
Oh,
Gotta be outside
Now,
the
the
physical.
physical, that's gonna go.
Yes.
Yeah, but what if you're dealing with people right now that's looking for the physical before they get to the emotional? Like I feel like my downfall has been the emotional. Like I'm an emotional guy. Like my friends tell me, "Dang, AC man, everyone you've been with, you've been with them for like years." Like it's an emotional aspect,
Okay.
but then there's a physical aspect too
Mhm.
that kind of really kind of puts the emotions together. It like meshes it together, and I feel like people shouldn't overlook the physical.
The physical is what even gets you interested,
It gets you-
even
And you have,
conversation.
I tell people,
Yes.
you have to be physically attracted to each other, and then there have to be some commonality.
Yes.
But
Because
even
if
past the attraction, I feel like the physicalness, and we're talking about sexual
Sex.
relations and everything like that. But then if you get to the point where like you don't want to fornicate, and like you don't even know.
But see, I think that's part of the problem. Talking about emotion, I think couples today hop from physical to intimacy too fast. You have not gotten to know that in between what I saw and what's in that person. I don't know what's even in there. I don't even know any commonality other than we interested in the emotional, physical tie. Females get tied up once we've given ourselves to you, we're into you.
That was back in your day, baby.
I
But it's still
because we are a little wild and crazy because we've lost touch with that emotional.
I don't know.
We are some of
I don't
some of
know.
it's still there.
I'm with Pastor still.
And there's
No,
a
I'm back
reason
now.
that wild crazy
No,
women in
No, I would
there. There's still some there.
The thing about it, I
There's
do
still
with
some
that,
out
and
there,
then, but here's the part that I come across a lot, and me, like I said, I'm gonna talk with the person. I feel like, and I agree with Lady A. It's a lot of them that basically, you know, once they do certain things with you, they latch on to you real quick.
Hello,
But
thank you.
here's the thing: what I tell them all the time. Listen, okay, tell me how you feel. Okay, the fact that you latched on to me, okay. You may just be one of 10 other women that latched on to me too. But if you feel a certain way because you're saying you latched on me for a certain reason, I need to know how you
But
feel.
see,
But
if-
you might
if-
be
do
one
that.
of 10 dudes that she latched on to.
Yeah, but see,
Okay,
there's
exactly. I
nothing
agree
beyond
with
the
you.
surface before you connect it physically. And everybody wearing no feeling, all you know is a sexual feeling.
Right.
And,
You got
and
no
that's
other
what
feeling to go on.
You didn't have a deeper.
We didn't have a
time.
deeper conversation.
You had to
even
have a,
know.
you have
Take
to have
that
a
deep
deeper
conversation.
Yes.
time.
And that's been my downfall. I have deep conversations.
Cause man, the physical part is only
Right.
this
It-
much.
it gonna change.
And if
You
you
got,
put that
you got
physical on it,
this much time in
Yeah.
the day and stuff, and that's only this big.
right? And if you put that physical on it, like you just way out there, like
Yeah, so
oh,
all
what?
the other
gonna take place in the
all the
day.
other
That's
time
what
is
it is.
nothing. All the other time you ain't got nothing in common. You don't know
Right,
what's going
right,
on.
right.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
that's
That goes-
just
that's
but that little sliver part. He's like, oh, that's good.
That-
And what about the rest
You
of
got
it?
nothing to build on.
But that
No
goes
foundation.
back to that qualifying. Like as men, of course, the physical is gonna draw us in. That's gonna pique our interest. Like, okay, she, you know, the tall girl that I like. You know, she got the thick legs or what have you. But then once you start talking to her, you know, that's gonna determine whether or not you stick around.
You realize that she don't have no
Talking
brain
good,
matter.
y'all
That she ain't got no
in
brain
common.
matter, Jay.
Who?
No brain matter.
Right. If she ain't got no brain now.
That's no values,
Depending on what you
I
live
be
for
like,
the time.
what you say?
Now, how many of y'all wanna be married to a girl who ain't got no bags and?
Nah, I can't do that.
Where you gonna find that out though?
He wasn't talking about
You
marriage.
know, after we get to talking.
So the
Jerry wasn't talking about no marriage.
so the summer show up. I told you.
You gotta sum it up. You gotta, you
Jerry was
gotta
talking about
wrap
a booty call. That was different.
Not this time, bro.
you gotta wrap it up.
So first of all, thank you guys for being on this.
Yeah.
And but to sum it all up, man, if you had to like get against this, just a little advice, Pastor Lady A, as far as you know what has helped you guys as far as the sacrifices and the teamwork, you know, people that's dating and you know engaged and trying to get to the point where you guys are, what would be something that you would say to them as far as a little advice to give them the like you said, the know-how to not just give up and just walk away from it, knowing that I got this man, I'm gonna tie myself into this man, his flaws, his problems, whatever he's going
It's
through.
easy to give
We're gonna work through this thing together. So
Yeah.
give a little advice.
Yeah, it's easy to
and
walk
the
away.
show on what you feel like.
Yeah.
That should
How
be.
do you stay strong? How do you stay in it?
Well, you don't always stay strong. You don't always you're not always strong. There will be times where you do want to give up. But even if you have not made the commitment to be married to one another, you have a connection that is close enough that says, I want to be connected with this person. Beyond the booty calls, beyond the sexual relationship, beyond the financial, there's something that we have in common
They have to connect.
that we have to build up on. What I find happening a lot of times today is no one is willing to work together. Pastor and I started with absolutely nothing. I mean, nothing. But one of the things we were committed to was building together. We talked about goals. We set goals together. Now, goals for ourselves individually, but it was together.
Together.
For ourselves, for our
Each
family.
degree,
Everything
adding
was,
on degrees.
yeah, everything was set together.
Job change.
Yeah, which meant, as example,
What's
for
gonna
example,
help us?
right. What would help us? For example, as we got married, within a year's time bought a house. I was supposed to go to medical school, decided I didn't want to go to medical school, but I wanted to go back to school. I was working at night, Pastor was working at night, so in order to do what I wanted to do next, I had to go back to school. Now, when we were functioning financially, it took both incomes to maintain the household. But together, we made the decision, okay, this is what we're gonna do. You're gonna go back to school, and this is how we're gonna maintain the house. This man sacrificed and ate cheap hot dogs for over a year. I don't see couples individuals willing to do that now. No, it wasn't a goal just for me. We set a goal for us, which meant you go do this, I'll do this, make sense. Then if we turned it around later on, where it's his turn to go, and I work. We both were willing to make a sacrifice for what we decided together. And if it meant him getting another degree, or my getting another degree, or whatever the advancement was, it was for us. For us. And we worked it together. Yeah, did I get tired sometimes? Did he get tired sometimes? Yes. But we had agreed this is what we were going to do for us. So you see it through, no matter what the sacrifice is. Eating the cheap hot dogs, working 2 jobs, because it's just for a time period, a short time period. And what happens, we grew together. We built together. I don't see
Which
that.
is sort of different from some of you all's
Yes.
situation, is that we brought nothing but ourselves into the relationship. She had nothing, I had nothing.
Yes.
So it wasn't like I'm making more money, you make. When we first got married, we were making the same thing, $4.29 an hour.
Ooh.
With college degrees.
With a BS.
With BS degrees.
BS in biology, BS in chemistry, $4.29.
Hello.
And
So y'all
we
got
made
it
it
from the
from
bottom.
Yeah, from the mud.
And we built it from that. And when she said we started with nothing, we didn't have a bedroom set. We had 4 center blocks and a mattress, a box spring and another mattress on top of that. And a TV I had in college that had a clothes hanger on there, and build from that. So we cannot ever make a statement that I did this.
Right.
We did this. So, but as you all being established, you coming in, this my house. No, it can't be. This is my house. Now we're married, it's our house. So we never have had a house that I can say is mine, and that she can say it's hers.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's all hers.
She the boss.
That's his comment.
Well, Pastor Lady A, we appreciate you guys for coming on Bro Code.
Yes, sir.
Hey, that's gonna be our show, guys. See you next week on Bro Code. We out.
Thank you guys. Oh my God, thank y'all so much. This is